Hey there, Pierre. All right, let's jump into it. Thanks for sending your essay, and let's try and do our best so we can get this exam done and dusted on Friday. These days, more and more people move away from the area where they were born and brought up with when they become adults. To the advantage of this, give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples. Let's see. Ancient history reveals and teaches us about communities travelling, hunting, and leaving their birthplace behind for improving living standards. I would have shifted this to improve their living standards. It's not a correction, it's an improvement, okay? Just a stylistic one for clarity. And also, Pierre, it's always a good sign when your tutor is giving you improvements rather than corrections. Nowadays, people also exchange their birth towns for various reasons. Exchange means like I would be giving you my birth town of Huddersfield for your birth town of La Rochelle, for example, you know? And we would never, we can't do that. So here we could say switch or change the birth towns, or the places of birth, I think would be a more common way to say that, the place of birth, for various reasons. In this essay, the good will overpower the bad, and I can share some light on this debate. So that sounds like it's from a philosophical essay, so it's a little bit out of place. 2, I can put that into an essay, as you just heard, about philosophy, about nuclear power, about climate change, about crime. Why? Because it's got nothing specifically related to people changing towns, okay? Also, it sounds a little bit too dramatic for an essay about people moving away from their home, okay? It sounds like an epic struggle. So just bear that in mind. I would stick with more neutral phrases, you know, like the advantages of a hometown far outweigh the disadvantages of relocation and starting afresh in a new city, for example. Okay, firstly, pros overpower the cons. Okay, here you would need to say the pros specifically. Also, I think it's too strong a start. Okay, you know, I would have talked about the advantages of moving, then maybe talked about the disadvantages, and then give my opinion. Okay, people seek better living standards, and are willing to swap what they know for something improved. Good. Here I would have said most people. Okay, this is called hedging. Families immigrate to countries for wealth, safety, and opportunities to prosper. Okay. For instance, yearly, millions, so it's usually good to put the time reference at the beginning or the end of the sentence just to make it clearer. Okay? Families immigrate to countries for wealth, safety, opportunities, and to ultimately, prosper. Okay? New sentence, just to break it up. For instance, every year, okay, millions of residents from various, I would have said every year, it's more accurate. Every year, millions of residents from various countries apply for visas, I guess, to make Australia their home. Secondly, through this, people can improve their lives, no need for capitalization, new skills, and discover the world in exchange for discover the world, in exchange, accepting countries gain skills and knowledge. Okay, can you see how I had to break that up just to make it more sense? So you definitely need to look at punctuation. Secondly, so we've kind of got this one as an afterthought, yeah? So I would organize paragraph organization is something you need to work on. We usually have two ideas. The second idea we develop a little bit further. We develop it. Why? Why is this? Why is this? And then we finish it off with an example just to make it crystal clear, solid, and irrefutable. These paragraph structures we offer in our online course. I think you'll be able to get it as a discount, and you'll be definitely, with your language ability, you will definitely see an instant improvement. So far, I'd put this on a 6.5. Okay, sorry, it's probably not going to help your confidence that much hearing that, but I would rather you get the truth, you know, rather than me blowing smoke, as they say. The downside about citizens, the downsides, I guess, because you're going to say one, downsides for citizens leaving their communities behind is the loss of skill and knowledge for the sending country. Okay, just to make it crystal clear. Yeah, you know, in Argentina they lose a developer because the developer is going to work in Australia. Let's just get it clear. Okay, who's leaving what and which country is at a disadvantage. Okay, these skills and knowledge played, again, hedging, most likely played an important key role to the success of the community. The elderly may or will most likely abandon this earth when the time is right. Okay, so we're going way off topic here. This is just, I can understand what you mean, but this point needs to be brought in slowly, okay, and set up. So we could even just say, this could have a detrimental effect for the next generations. For example, I wouldn't have talked about the elderly educating the young or the next generation. I talk about the citizens leaving their communities, okay, and talk about, you know, the generation that leave their country now leave a space for the generation after them, an educational void, because they cannot learn directly. They cannot learn directly from the community if the developer is in Melbourne. Okay, so it's all muddy. I can hear the muddiness in my speak, and it's just as muddy here. So this is why a clear, solid plan is useful, and this is why we need to set it up and we need to prepare it. Okay, the hope of improving their living standards will be put on hold due to the fact that knowledge and relevant skills are lost. So again, who are we talking about here? The elderly? Are we talking about the citizen leaving? Are we talking about the generation who want to improve their living standards, but they can't because those skills are lost? They're now in Melbourne. You see what I mean? So yeah, I think your argument is valid. It's just the presentation and the build-up we need to clarify. For example, if all the doctors in a country leave to go work in another country because of work-life balance, the country losing will be left with challenges. Okay, here we've got a hypothetical example. It kind of puts into perspective what you just said here, but here it was so much clearer, it's so much more obvious. And also, I would have developed this one, started with this and just developed it, okay? And then even talked about a real world example of this happening. In Kenya, all the doctors are working in the UK in the NHS. I'm not saying all the doctors, but I could easily invent an example. So that's probably another skill, not only punctuation, paragraph structure, but also argument development and real world examples, okay, which are probably necessary for both body paragraphs. In conclusion, migration is a common trend worldwide. People leave their childhood neighborhoods for improved lifestyles and for other various reasons. Okay, so I just still don't know your position here. Ideally, we put your position here in your final paragraph, your conclusion, okay? And you just need to summarize your arguments made previously. Okay, so the good thing is, Pierre, in your case, we're not really struggling with language skills, we're struggling with exam skills, and these can be solved so much quicker than having to learn the entire English language, in which you seem pretty capable of using already. Okay, so that's the good thing. Those exam skills, as I said, all of them are in the online course. I think, yeah, if you're interested in that online course, let me know. Users of the essay checker get it at a ridiculously discounted rate because we're just transitioning over to just pushing the AI essay checker more than the online course, and selling them together just makes sense. So let me know, and also give me an update on your use of the essay checker, please. Feel free to send screenshots, videos, show me your frustration, just walk me through it. We're in a learning phase as well. Okay, Pierre, good luck. Keep moving forward. You can do this.